This is Paul for Redneck Sports. I believe that everybody should win in life, or at least attempt to. The first three maxims of General Robert Nealon's game maxims, I believe apply to everybody. The team that makes the fewest mistakes will win. Play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. If at first the game or the breaks go against you, don't let up. Put on more steam. Welcome to the channel. Now let's discuss some sports. Oh, and if you don't mind, like, subscribe, comment. And I've got a link tree down below. It's got my social media. And it has my Patreon if you want to help out. Thank y'all. This week is done. Rivalry week. I've already done the video of Tuesday through Friday. Those games were exciting. Today, well, okay, I'm posting this for Monday. I'm doing this Saturday night / Sunday morning. Wow. This was a Saturday that just, wow. Fights during the Ohio State or after the Ohio State Michigan game and the Florida State game, because Florida players were wanting to plant the flag, Michigan players were wanting to plant the flag. Folks, that's a rivalry week thing. But let me tell you, these are folks that are probably going to be playing pro. Some of them are. And you're fighting? Really? The games that I'm going to cover are some big ones. But let me tell you something. This has been one heck of a season, and rivalry week, holy cow. Now, some of these games aren't rivalries. It's just not a rivalry game. But some of these games, man, it showed what could be done in college football. And some of them are not what people expected. So let's get into these games. Man, these are some good ones. Okay, the University of Tennessee and Vandy rivalry, the Ball Vandy rivalry has no name. But it's the oldest in the state of Tennessee. It's one of the oldest in the nation. One of it. We've been playing this game since before 1900. This is started in the 1890s. So, Tennessee 36, Vandy 23. You knew Vandy was going to put up some numbers, no big deal. But let me tell you something. This wasn't the normal way. While, yes, we rushed, we didn't do rushing touchdowns. Think about that. Tennessee showed an entirely new side. They actually got their receiving game going. Seriously, they did. Now, okay, Vandy got 17 points in the first quarter, and Tennessee got 7. And then it just turned into a slog from there for Vandy because they couldn't do anything. Nico got intercepted once. He threw 4 touchdowns. Like I said, no rushing touchdowns for Tennessee. Diego Pavia got through 1 TD, threw 1 interception, and got sacked 3 times. For Vandy, Cedric Alexander rushed in for a touchdown, and Richie Hoskins received for a touchdown. And he only caught 1 ball, 31-yard TD. Dylan Sampson, 25 rushes, 178 yards. No TDs, though. But still, that shows what Sampson was, how important Sampson was to this offense. Dante Thornton got 2 touchdowns, 3 receptions, 118 yards, 86-yard long, and he got those 2 touchdowns, like I said. Miles Kitzelman got a touchdown. Mike Matthews got a touchdown. That shows you that what Tennessee's been working on. They finally got the receiving core going good. That's going to show up when it comes to the college football playoff because Tennessee's in. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, South Carolina beat Clemson. I knew this would happen. Okay, I wanted it to happen. Let me rephrase that a little bit. I wanted this to happen. 17-14. Hey, Lenore Sellers is an amazing quarterback. Some games went the wrong direction. Okay, Caleb Klubnik, you got what you expected from him. Lenore Sellers got sacked 3 times through 1 interception. Caleb Klubnik threw 1 interception, got sacked once. Lenore Sellers rushed for 2 touchdowns. Think about that. He had 16 rushes, 166 yards, and 2 TDs. Whereas, and Cade Klubnik, there we go, I can talk. 10 rushes, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns himself. This was not when you're having to rely on your quarterback and your kicker to that's what kind of game this was. And this was not a exciting game. This was a defensive game, but let me tell you something. South Carolina has been showing that they've been a tough team. They're 9-3. Unfortunately, they ain't going to the college football playoff, but let me tell you something. I would take them over a whole bunch of those that are going into the college football playoff, and Clemson may be going in there, and they're 9-3. So, way to go, South Carolina. The Palmetto State Bowl, or whatever this is called. Hey, I'm glad South Carolina won it. Not because I'm a SEC homer, but just simple fact of that Clemson, it's Clemson. But there we go on that game. Okay, Texas A&M, Lone Star Showdown. 13 years since the last time this happened. Texas 17, Texas A&M 7. Texas's defense was key to this game. That it really was. Quinn Ewers, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and that 1 interception led to a touchdown. Just think about that. The only touchdown that Texas A&M got came from an interception. Arch Manning rushed for 3 times, 14 yards, got a touchdown. Marcel Reed got on Texas A&M. He got 1 interception, 3 sacks. Quinn Ewers, 1 touchdown. He threw 1 touchdown, got 1 interception, and 1 sack. So Arch Manning got the rushing touchdown. Jaden Blue got the receiving touchdown. Texas A&M, hey, this team, where this team's at, I wouldn't be ashamed to call myself an Aggie. They're 8-4. They're a good team, but and what was done, what they've accomplished this year, let me tell you something. They came really close to getting into the SEC tournament or SEC championship game. They came real close to a lot of things. Considering Mike Elko's first year in there, yeah, they just ran up against the Texas team that people don't want to put them in the elite category, but they're 11-1. They went through and their first year of SEC and they're 11-1. They were only beat by Kirby Smart and Georgia, who, by the way, is also in the college football playoff. So there is nothing to be ashamed of on Mike Elko's part or the Aggies. You go Aggies. Michigan, Ohio State. Michigan 13, Ohio State 10. Yes, Ohio State's going to the college football playoff. They're not playing in the Big Ten championship. Michigan. Oh my God. Ryan Day is owned by the Michigan football team. Seriously, he is owned by the Michigan football team. Michigan 7-5, Ohio State's 10-2. There was a fight because Michigan was trying to put the flag down at the end of the game. Davis Warren for Michigan Wolverines, 2 interceptions, no sacks though. Will Howard on Ohio State, 1 touchdown throw. He threw 1 touchdown, got intercepted twice, no sacks. Khalil Mullings for Michigan got rushed in for a touchdown. Uh, Jeremiah Smith received a touchdown for Ohio State. This was a Michigan was finally getting back on their own. They're finally figuring out who they are. And man, did Ohio State have to pay for that. Ohio State probably overlooked this game. I'm going to hopefully think it's that. That's got to be what it is. They overlooked this game. So it's going to be Oregon Penn State for the Big Ten championship. But yeah, Ohio State overlooked this game and they paid for it badly. Another hilarious upset. Maybe it's just a simple fact of that I'm an older person and I remember Miami being basically a criminal network at one time. I'm not saying they are now, but Syracuse 42, Miami 38. Syracuse is 9-3. They are not a team to overlook. Miami is now 10-2. Syracuse, people overlook Syracuse. They have been all year. And you take a look at this Cam Ward, who is in the talks for Heisman. I don't think he should be. He threw for 2 touchdowns, got sacked once. Kyle McCord for Syracuse. Let me tell you something. Kyle McCord's nothing to not be considered. Kyle McCord threw for 3 touchdowns, got sacked twice. Uh, on Miami, Damian Martinez rushed for a touchdown. Mark Fletcher Jr. rushed for 2 touchdowns. Xavier Restrepo received a touchdown. Elijah Arroyo, he received a touchdown. On Syracuse's side, LaQuint Allen rushed for 2 touchdowns. And then receivers, Trevor Pena, 1 touchdown. Jackson Meeks, 2 touchdowns. This is a very little off or defense being played in this game for these two teams. Um, Miami held Syracuse. Here's the funny thing: Miami held Syracuse in the first quarter. It was Miami got 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Syracuse got nothing, and then they came back the next quarter. Syracuse got 2 touchdowns. Miami got a touchdown. This was a hey, we're going to throw and we're going to but Miami just I don't know why they couldn't get it done. It was just I guess they're worn out from this year. Uh but yeah, Syracuse, man, Syracuse just they wanted to show that they are not a joke. Everybody kept ignoring them all year long. Well, let me tell you something. They shouldn't have been ignored, and this is payback to Miami for it. Okay, this last game I'm going to talk about Army, who is getting disrespected. Army's unranked. That's disrespectful. They're 10-1. They were 9-1 going into this game. They had only been beat by Notre Dame. Notre Dame is automatically into the college football playoff. And they're the only team that's beat Army. Well, they went in. UTSA was already bowl eligible, but it was 29-24. Yeah, it was a hold off game, but this was a team that was beat up. Bryson Daly for Army threw one touchdown, got sacked twice. Owen McCown for UTSA threw one TD, got intercepted twice, got sacked once. For UTSA, Brandon Hyde Jr. rushed for two touchdowns. Devin McCune received a touchdown. For Army, Bryson Daly rushed in for two touchdowns, and Tyrell Robinson received a touchdown. Army's just been disrespected and disrespected. In all honesty, they should be up there in the rankings. And Tulane, who got beat, I covered this yesterday. Tulane got beat, so Tulane's going to have to go to Army. And let me tell you, they're going to be facing one heck of a crowd when they go into Army. So, when they go to West Point, yeah, they're going to be facing not just the student section. Every guy in the Army, every Army officer that went to West Point is going to try to be there. That's going to be one heck of a conference championship right there. And Army's playing disrespected. You know what they're going for. So, championship weekend is next weekend. We are going to see some thinning out of the herd. By the end of the week, or by the end of Saturday next week, we will know who is going to be in the college football playoff. We already know most of the teams. There's Big 12 championship. We've got to learn. We got to learn which Mountain West team is going to be in. I'm sorry. I still think Army is being disrespected. I think, in all honesty, if UNLV was able to beat Boise State, Army should be well ranked, and that should be a competition between Army and whoever. But this is some disrespect. I'm going to say it. But at the same time, this has been one heck of a week when it comes to college football. I hope you folks enjoyed it. I hope this gave you a little bit of enjoyment in listening. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Thank you for watching this video. I've had some fairly good success with all of my Redneck Sports stuff. And I hope you enjoyed the topic. If you did, like, subscribe, comment, all that rigmarole. And also, just let me know what you want to hear about. I'll give a redneck spin to this stuff. Let me tell you, I love sports. So, I love people that want to join me in that. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.